Alrighty, so lately I've been doing a little bit of work on this Fiat 130 of mine. It's a 1975 sedan. Been doing the timing belt. Now, the timing belt was done maybe 6 or 7 years ago, but I figured it's getting old. I don't want it to break when I'm driving, and in the end of the day, I want to be driving something that's reliable. So, I've already stripped the whole lot down. New belt on there. Also a new tensioner bearing, if I can just get my torch. See him down there. I got this from a place called Fiat Torque in Granville, Sydney. Ross Smith is the guy that owns the place. That's the only place you can get it from in Australia that I know of. I tried tracking it down. I just couldn't find the bloody thing anywhere. Turin Imports are the same thing. Good luck trying to find one. So, got one. So done that. Done the belt. Bearing was 130 Australian delivered, and the belt was $70 delivered, which it's not too bad. It's more than what a usual car is. But remember, this belt is from a Lamborghini. In a mirror or something stupid like that, like some wedge-shaped Lamborghini from the 70s. So that's what the belt's from. No idea what the bearing's from. It's actually a smaller bearing press inside an outer case. The original one from this car, which is currently missing in action, was absolutely rooted. Just believe me, it was stuffed. So that's that. What else? Other things I've done to this car. I've taken the water pump off. That was actually in as new condition because it was apparently done about 10 years ago by a previous owner that I know. Also replaced that belt. Rebuilt the whole thermostat housing, which is that silver thing there. New seal in the thermostat as well. The original thermostat's still working fine. What else have we done here? That's about all for the front. I've also got new belts for the alternator, the power steering, and the air conditioning compressor. So that's that side of the engine. Other things I've done is the heater tap, which I shall now show you in my interior that I've taken half to bits again. So heater tap is up under there. I can get it in. Alright, see that little thing, that little zinc plated lever there? That's the heater tap. That's him right up there. Absolute pain in the ass to get to. And mine was of course seized, so the heater wouldn't work. So no coolant was passing through the core. So I took that out, took it apart, cleaned, found that it was all but stuffed on the inside. I just, not corroded but rusted, so I sandblasted the whole lot. Cleaned it up, put new O-rings in there, sealed it back together. It's supposed to be just like a clip fitting or press fitting on the end. So I used like JB weld and just caked the outer flange in it. And that seems to be holding fine. It seals against water really well, seals against air. Yeah, so that's working. Put that back on. Takes about an hour just to put it in, because it is so stubborn. But it's in, and hopefully it doesn't leak. I also made up a new gasket out of some thin rubber stuff, and put some elastic between the gasket, the heater core, and the switch. So hopefully it works. Now, to the point of this video, what I want to show you guys is how to time this engine. I spent hours trawling the internet, and there is nothing on there regarding how to time the engine in terms of what points to use on the crankshaft and on the camshaft. So firstly, the camshaft. If you have a look in behind it on the head, these little ribs, there's one on each side, line up with two holes which are in the where are they? The cam lobes, or the cam pulleys, which are those little holes there, right? There's one there, and there's one on that one, just in there. Those two need to line up. The crankshaft. If I can find what I'm looking for, I shall show you, but of course I can't. There is a little groove in this edge, if I can get there, organise my hands, this edge right here, very hard to show. There's a little groove in there which needs to line up with little grooves in the timing belt cover, so I shall, no, can't find it. Alright, I'll show you this. Trust me, there's a groove on that little edge there, on the edge of the pulley. It needs to line up with these three marks here, okay? So, big one there indicates top dead center, which I'll indulge on more in a second. And these two have reference to the distributor points on the distributor, so I'm assuming that's 10 degrees before or something like that. I didn't really look into that. I just sort of tie into my distributor so it'll be firing on the correct cylinder when everything lines up. Now, ready for this. When all the points line up, cylinder 5 is at top dead center. So that is the middle one on this bank. So usually most cars go by cylinder 1. The Ferrari Dino, which is a V6 engine designed by the same guy as that designed this, goes by number 3. This goes by number 5. Why? I have no idea. But that's the way it is, and it works. Here's the timing, the firing order. So you go 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 6. So that's the way that works. So you got to time it by cylinder number 5 using the 2 points in the cam and the 3 marks on the timing belt cover, the line up with the crank pulley. There, sorted. Now to verify this, I've set myself up a little engine on my desk, or a bench, what I like to call an engine. So you've got 2 camshafts, held by a very trusty piece of wood. And, if I can get him on there, a belt. Pull the belt. Whole lot rotates. Alright. So this is the head of a Fiat 130, the 3.2 V6. And as you can see, you've got your timing marks in here, which I shall now line up, which is about there. Alright. This is cylinder number 5, and you can see both valves are closed. So this is the exhaust valve, this is the inlet valve. Neither of them, you got that lobe there, neither of them are pushing a valve down. So both valves are closed, and at that mark, cylinder 5 is at top dead center, okay? So basically we'll back it off quite a bit to show you the cycle. This is the inlet, remember, so that comes down, lets the fuel in. Alright, now the valve is closed. Piston is on its way back up, compressing the fuel. And when the mark lines up, about there, or it'll actually fire a little bit before it, so it'll fire now. Then the mark lines up. Alright, so the piston's going down, then a power stroke. And then right at the bottom, exhaust valve opens, piston comes back up, pushes all the exhaust out. When it gets to the top, inlet valve opens, piston goes down, sucks in more fuel, and just goes round and round and like that. So that verifies that it works. A second form of verification will be in the form of an actual running car. There's no bullshit. There we go. Running beautifully. That has never run that good before. I think the guys that did it beforehand, I don't know what they did. They may have timed it to cylinder number 3, which is the next one to fire after cylinder 5. Could have been a little bit out, I don't know. But that runs, and that runs really sweet, and I'm really happy with that because I was so worried that it was going to blow up when I tried to start it. And that is how to time a 130 engine. My first timing belt, but it seemed to work out pretty well, so I'm extremely pleased with that. So there we go, now I've got to put the whole lot bloody back together. Next thing I was tackling was the radiator hoses and the fact that you can't get any anymore. Maybe I had to get some out of Denmark or Germany possibly, but they would cost an absolute fortune, so I opted for an alternative, which cost me $70 Australian to do. I haven't made them up yet, but I will. This is the top hose. You'd think they'd be able to find something like that, but you can't. That's not even the right one for a car because it's in an S shape like that, whereas it should be straight with right angles. So what I've done is I've got 2 90s, right, like that, and I'm going to use a bit of straight aluminium pipe, which is 40mm in diameter. I've got 3 meters for $20 from Paramount Brown, so I'm going to use that. And then do the same deal for the bottom hose. This one here is a bottom hose. Alright, so it sits like that in a car. Right here is where the radiator is, and at the bottom is where it connects to the inlet underneath the crankshaft pulley. Goes around the sway bar, under the belt for the alternator. It's just a mess to do. Can't find anything like that similar. So same deal, going to use some straight bits of pipe like this one. So that'll be coming down underneath the alternator pulley. I'll see if I can bend this part up around to meet the inlet, and then I'm going to have him up the end joined by some aluminium pipe, and hopefully it works. So fingers crossed it will. And that's how I'm going to do the radiator hoses, so that's going to be a bit of fun. But at least it's running, and once I get water in it I can make sure the valve doesn't leak, which it won't, it bloody well better not. And then I can get the whole lot back together and drive it, and I'll be confident that it is in good order and nothing's going to break. That is how I like it. Good! Anyway, thank you for watching, I hope you guys learned something from that. Cheers.